Media Collection Links Manager on the web is an ASP.NET Web application that is used to assemble, organize, and manage related collections of hyperlinks that point to locations on the internet such as media files and websites. The application uses an SQL database to store record information about the hyperlinks using a 5-level hierarchical schema. Hyperlink records are organized at the top level in the schema into collections. The schema supports 4 levels of links nesting underneath the collection level. The application user interface is a single web page. The web page can be configured to accommodate a wide range of users. At one extreme, the web page can allow full read-write access to all records in the database. At the other extreme, the page can be configured to provide read-only access to a limited set of the records. To use the application, a user makes a selection from the available records. And if that record has a hyperlink assigned to it, click the View button to navigate to that URL. The application is accessed using a login page. Authorized users will enter a username, password, then click the Use MCLM command button. Users log out of the application by using the command button in the upper left corner of the page. The current signed-in user's name is on the face of the command button. Users manage their account profile information by entering their username, password, then clicking the My Details command button. The user can update their information by clicking the Edit link in the form in the lower left corner. The user can change any value except user ID and username. When finished making a change, a user can click Update or Cancel. At this point, a user could simply click the Use MCLM command button to access the application. Alternatively, simply clear the page by clicking the Clear command button. Application users are managed with a user account console. Only the application's designated administrator can access the console. To access the console, the administrator enters his username, password, then clicks the My Details command button. The console displays at the top of the page. The administrator can use the console to add new users, edit a user, or delete a user. When finished using the console, the administrator clears it by clicking the Clear command button. The application uses multiple levels of security to ensure that only authorized users gain access. Primary security is ensured by username, password credentials. If access is attempted using unrecognized credentials, using either the MCLM or My Details command buttons, access is denied. Additionally, all application pages use page-level authentication. To ensure that only authorized users access the pages, if an unauthorized user attempts to navigate directly to one of the application pages or execute by using the Enter key, they will be redirected to the login page. Furthermore, if an application user attempts to navigate directly to an application page that they're not authorized to use, and I'll do that by changing the URL in this example, I'll execute by using the Enter key. They too will be redirected to the login page. The application web page displays records in a 5-level hierarchical schema. At the top level of the schema is the collection level. Beneath the collection level, the schema supports 4 levels of links nesting. In the current view, there are records at the collection level being displayed, but there are no records being displayed at levels 2, 3, 4, or 5. Scroll up. Here, records at the collection level are organized by subject name and displayed in ascending alphabetical order. Records at each of the 5 levels in the schema are organized into pages, with 10 records per page. Note the page control buttons under the collection level. The next button and the last button are currently not grayed out. That means there are more records on additional pages. To navigate to pages, we can click the next button, previous button, Imstairs Kamsibi Myrit Tantaribaro. Last button, or first button. There are only 2 pages to this set of collections. We're going to click Next to end up on the second page. Let me scroll the page just a little bit. There are controls for inserting new records at all 5 levels in the schema. There are controls for editing and deleting selected records at all 5 levels. And at levels 2, 3, 4, and 5, there are controls that will let you move up, move down, or send atop a selected record. There are also controls that will let you view a selected record in levels 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're working with an application database that's been pre-populated with a number of collections. To work with a given collection, we first need to select it. In our collection list, there's a collection called TechSmith. To select that collection, we'll use the drop-down control immediately below the collection list. We'll open the control and click on TechSmith. After the page refreshed, any records that were entered at Level 2 underneath the TechSmith collection are displayed in the Level 2 controls. I need to scroll the page just a little bit here. Note that the first 4 levels in the database schema have a column called subitums. There is no such column at the 5th level. The reason that there is no subitums column at level 5 is that it is not supported by the database schema. It is not possible to enter records underneath any record at level 5. This column contains a checkbox. The purpose of the checkbox is to indicate whether or not records have been entered underneath the record at that level. We selected the TechSmith collection. There is a checkbox in that column's control. Accordingly, there are records being displayed at level 2, which is the next level down. In level 2, there's a TechSmith record called Camtasia Studio. There's a check in the subitems column. To display those records, select the Camtasia Studio record in the drop-down immediately below level 2. After the page refresh, the Camtasia Studio records in level 3 are displayed. At level 3, there's a Camtasia Studio record called How To. It also has a check in the subitems column. To display those records, select the How to Record in the drop-down beneath level 3. At level 4, there's a record How to Use Library Building Blocks that also has a checkmark in the subitems column. To display the records beneath this item, select the Building Blocks record in the drop-down below level 4. There's Building Blocks. After the page refreshed, the records under Building Blocks are displayed in the level 5 controls. So far, we've been selecting records for the purpose of navigating around the records, specifically by drilling down into lower-level records. Another reason for selecting records is to pick one for the purpose of navigating to the URL that's part of the record information. In the Level 5 records, under the Building Blocks records at Level 4, there's a record that says on screencast.com. Note that there's a hyperlink as part of that record. I'm going to select that record using the drop-down below the Level 5 list. In this particular example, I have a copy of the Building Blocks video on screencast.com, and that's being targeted by this record. To view that video, with the record selected, I'll click the View Command button. And the video begins playing in your browser. After watching the video, to navigate back to Media Collection Links Manager on the web, use the back button on the browser. If I scroll upwards on the page, note that we're currently displaying records at all 5 levels in the database schema. If you decide to start working with a different level of record, for example, we're currently working at level 2 with the Camtasia Studio record. If we decide to work with, let's say, the Snagit record, after selecting that record, if you scroll, you'll find that all lower-level records have been collapsed. If you would like to simply change collections, just make a new selection in the drop-down. And after the page refreshed, if you scroll, you'll find that all lower-level records have been collapsed. I'm going to use the back button on the browser to restore that view. Another option that you have is that if you would like to collapse all display records, including those at the collection level, you can click the Collapse All command button. If we scroll, we see that all displayed records have been collapsed. To add a new collection to your record set, enter the name for the collection in the Collection Level Records Insert Function text box. We'll call this New Collection, New Collection. Then click the Insert command button. The collections are sorted by name alphabetically, so we'll have to go to the next page of the records to see that new item. And there's our new collection. To edit the name of your new collection, click the Edit command button. We'll change the name to New Collection for Bob. Click the Update command button to commit the changes. To delete a collection record, click the Delete command button next to that record. Exercise caution. There is no undo for deletes. Also, if there are any records entered underneath this collection record in this area down here, you will not be able to delete that record up here until all the lower-level records have been deleted. Since we've not entered any lower-level records yet against the New Collection for Bob collection, I'm going to click the Delete command button. And our New Collection for Bob is gone. Off camera, I've recreated a record for a New Collection for Bob. Note the column ID Level 1. This column contains the primary key value for records entered at the collection level. For the New Collection for Bobby, the primary key value is 40. The primary key value is used to associate records entered at lower levels with a given collection. Primary key values are automatically generated by the application and cannot be modified. Note the column Sub-items. The checkboxes in this column indicate whether or not records have been entered underneath the collection item. For the New Collection for Bob record, the checkbox is still clear because we have not entered any lower-level records. Records displayed at Level 2 are synchronized by the primary key value of a selected collection record. Let me navigate to the first page of our collections. The Collapse submenu record is a placeholder record, and there's one in the collection level. Note that its ID Level 1 primary key value is 18. Also note that the value in ID Level 1 column of the Insert Function text boxes at Level 2 also has the value 18. When a collection record is selected, and currently the collapsed submenu record is selected, that primary key value is inserted in the ID Level 1 text box as a default value. Let's navigate to the next page. So we can see the New Collection for Bob record. In order to work with records that have been recorded under a collection, you need to select the collection in the drop-down list below the list of collections. So I'm going to open the list and click on New Collection for Bob. Note that the value for ID Level 1 of 40 has been entered by the application in the Insert text box for ID Level 1. The application also has pre-populated the other text box with default values for the first record at any level. The first record at any level should be a Collapse submenu placeholder record, and its sort order in the sublevel will always start at 0. To insert the first record at sublevel 2 under the New Collection for Bob collection, which has a key field value of 40 as shown here, click the Insert command button. Note that after the first record was added at ID Level 2, the checkbox for sub-items for the New Collection for Bob record has been checked off. The application automatically checks it off whenever the first record is added at any of the sub-levels. Also note that the value 40 has been entered in the Insert template text box for ID Level 1, and the order value for the sort column has now been increased to 1. The other two checkboxes are blank because the application knows that this will not be the first record at this level. We're now going to enter a second record at level 2. For this example, the second record will be a reference to my company website. So I'll click in the subject field and type in Cookbook Plus website. Then I'll tab over to the link address field and I'll enter the URL to my company website. Then I'll tab over to the ID level field just to clear the link address field. To enter this second record, I'll click the Insert Command button. I'm going to add another record at level 2. This will be a reference to the TechSmith website. Enter the record by clicking the Insert Command button. Next, we're going to enter some records under the Cookbook Plus website record at level 2. To do that, in the drop-down below the level 2 list, select the Cookbook Plus website record. Note that the Cookbook Plus website key value is 616 for ID level 2, and that's been entered in the ID level 2 insert text box at level 3. And again, the application knows that there are no current records at level 3 DOM, so its suggested values for the first record is the collapsed submenu placeholder with a sort order in the list of 0. To enter the first record at level 3, again, we're matching primary key values of 616 for ID level 2. Click the Insert Command button. After the first record has been entered in ID level 3 DOM, note that the Sub-Items checkbox next to the Cookbook Plus website record has been checked off. Off camera, I'm going to enter 3 additional records at level 3 under the Cookbook Plus website record at level 2. Note that those records have been entered. Note that they all use the same ID level 2 value, 616, which was the primary key value for the Cookbook Plus website record at level 2. And the order field has been incremented. Accordingly, it now goes from 0 through 3 with 4 being suggested for the next record. If we needed to add records underneath any of the records at level 3, we'd follow the same general procedure. First, we'd select the record in the drop-down control underneath level 3. And for this example, I'll select Know Your BMR. Again, the primary key value for Know Your BMR for level 3 has been inserted in the new record text box for ID level 3. In level 4, we would proceed the same way by inserting our first record. And after we did that, the Know Your BMR checkbox for sub-items would be checked off. I'm not really going to put any records down here, so I'm going to reselect the Collapse submenu record under level 3. You can change the display order of any of the records in any of the sublists by using the Move Up, Move Down 2 top command buttons located under each sublist. To change your record's display order, you must first select the record. For ID level 3, we're going to use the drop down below that level to select the Log Once You Eat record. With the record selected, we're going to use the Move Up command button once. Note that that record moved up and the Know Your BMR record moved down. With the Log What You Eat record still selected, I'll click the Move Down command button. With the Log What You Eat record still selected, I'll click the To Top command button. To move that record back where it started, I'll use the Move Down command button several times. Once, twice, 3 times. And the Log What You Eat record is back where it started. To delete a record, click the Delete button next to the record. For this example, we'll delete the Know Your BMR record. I'll click the button, and that record is gone. Note that the values for the sort order for the other records have been recalculated. I'd previously mentioned that if you try to delete a record that has records underneath it, you'll get an error. To demonstrate, I'm going to try to delete the Cookbook Plus website record at level 2. It still has 3 records remaining at level 3. I'm going to click the Delete command button. The application throws an error. Escape the error by using the back button. In order to delete the Cookbook Plus website record, we will delete the 3 remaining records at level 3. Delete. Delete. Now notice that while there's still 1 record left at level 3, Next to the Cookbook Plus website, the Has sub-item is still checked. I'll click the Delete button for the last record at level 3. Note that the sub-item checkbox for the Cookbook Plus website record has been cleared. Now, if I want to delete the Cookbook Plus website record, I'll just click the Delete command button. That record has been deleted. My objective here will be to delete the new collection for Bob record, so I need to delete the 2 records at level 2. So I'll use the Delete command button. Once again, while there's still 1 record left at level 2, note that the new collection for Bob has a check mark in the sub-items column. I'll delete the last record at level 2. And the new collection for Bob checkmark has been cleared. Now to delete the new collection for Bob, I'll just click its Delete button. Certain actions by a user can cause the application to throw an error message. If you attempt to view or navigate to a link address that's poorly formed, and in this example, we've selected the Collapse submenu record in level 2, and its link address is none in text. If you attempt to view that, you will get this error message. State the error by using the back button. If you should attempt to insert a record where one or both of the insert text boxes are blank, inserting the record will generate this error message. Escape by using the back button. Let me select the record. Retirement Planning Spreadsheet 2010. Note that there is an error in this link address. The X at the end of the string does not belong there. With that record selected, if you try to view it, you will get a generic page not found error. Escape with the back button. When finished using the application, log out using the command button.